Imagine living in a town where death was orchestrated, not by coincidence, not by rage, but by belief, where murder was a sacred ritual and your neighbor could be part of a cult, wearing a friendly smile by day and plotting your death by night. In Krugersdorp, South Africa, a series of seemingly random murders would unveil a chilling truth. A group known as Electus per Deus, the chosen by God, had declared war on the living, and only they would decide who deserved salvation and who deserved death. The signs were always there, staring the town in the face, but no one ever looked deep enough to see the monster growing beneath their own feet. When investigators first uncovered the murders, they thought they were looking at isolated crimes. They were wrong. Behind the bloody scenes, they would find cryptic symbols, coded messages, and a hidden doctrine that justified slaughter, all orchestrated by a woman who believed she spoke directly to God. Krugersdorp, a mining town on the western edge of Johannesburg, seemed on the surface to be ordinary, a place of families, churches, and quiet suburban life. But beneath its tranquil exterior, faith and fear had long walked hand in hand. It was fertile ground for something dark to take root. The year was 2012. A charismatic woman named Cecilia Steyn began gathering followers, people disillusioned with traditional churches, desperate for meaning, desperate for power. They called themselves Electus per Deus, and to them, murder wasn't a crime. It was divine cleansing. Before the dust would settle, 11 people would be dead, and an entire town would be left wondering how they never saw the horror growing in plain sight. Stories like this, where horror hides under normal life, are what we uncover on Zen Equar. If you're drawn to the hidden echoes of real terror, subscribe and follow us deeper into the shadows. At first, the deaths seemed random. Between 2012 and 2016, bodies appeared across Krugersdorp. Glenn McGregor, a respected school principal, found shot execution style in his home. Reginald Govender, a wealthy businessman, murdered without clear motive. Pastors, teachers, random citizens. None were safe. Police linked the killings by a chilling thread. All the victims had previously been associated with Cecilia Steyn, or her splinter group from a local church. Inside the victims' homes, investigators sometimes found bizarre religious symbols, crosses drawn backward, strange prayer scrolls, or scriptures mutilated with bloodstains. It was as if the killers were sending a message, not just to the victims, but to God Himself. The deeper they dug, the more grotesque the revelations became. Cecilia claimed to be a 42nd generation witch turned Christian prophet, locked in a supernatural war against demons she called Satanists. She convinced her followers they were soldiers in a holy war, and that the only way to fight was through bloodshed. New members of Electus per Deus were forced into initiation rites, fake exorcisms, self-harm, staged kidnappings, and mock executions, all designed to strip away their humanity and bind them to Cecilia's will. Those who resisted were marked for death themselves. The first crack came in 2016, when a bungled robbery led police to Marinda Steyn, a high school teacher and devoted member of the cult. She confessed, but what she revealed wasn't just about murder. It was about devotion. She had killed for Cecilia willingly, even involved her own son in the killings. Leroux Steyn, only a teenager, confessed to assisting in multiple murders, sometimes pulling the trigger himself. a child, transformed into an executioner under the name of divine justice. Locals in Krugersdorp began whispering about the White Lady, a spirit said to appear before deaths in the town. Some swore they saw shadowy figures lurking outside homes days before the killings. Online forums exploded with theories. Was Cecilia truly in contact with supernatural forces? Or had mass hysteria, carefully weaponized, made ordinary people into monsters? Some surviving former members posted anonymously online, warning others, "She's not human, she feeds on fear." Psychologists later diagnosed Cecilia as a malignant narcissist with delusions of grandeur, capable of convincing others she held divine authority. Others suggest more sinister origins, that occult practices, abuse, and deep-seated trauma had combined into something monstrous. But the most chilling explanation remains the simplest. She convinced others to kill, not with threats, but with faith. Today, Cecilia Steyn and her closest followers rot in prison. But Electus per Deus was never truly about one woman. It was about belief and the horrors people will commit when they think righteousness is on their side. In Krugersdorp, they still whisper about the killings. They still fear the darkness that once walked among them, because some wounds never really heal. What do you think led to the rise of such a deadly cult? Was it madness, faith, or something darker still? Share your theories in the comments below. Like if you believe the darkest horrors wear the brightest smiles. And subscribe to Zen Echoar if you dare to hear the echoes of true terror once again.